The fading of one's physical strength can feel like a quiet thief in the night. It takes things so slowly you barely notice until the day you feel unsteady on your own feet. This strength is not stolen, it is only sleeping. We can awaken it. The final tea, the final principle, is a way of life that will change everything. Do not turn away before the end. Grounding roots. To rebuild what time has worn away, we must begin not by looking up at the sky, but by looking down at the earth. We must learn from the ancient masters of strength, the great trees. An old, wise oak draws its profound, unshakable power not from its highest branches, but from its roots, sunk deep and wide into the soil. As we navigate the later seasons of our life, our attention is often drawn to the visible, the external. We notice the frailty in our limbs, the unsteadiness in our gait, the silver in our hair. We see the branches and we forget the roots. The loss of muscle, the hesitation before rising from a chair, the feeling that your legs might not support you. This is not a failure of your body. It is a sign that your roots have become shallow, that they are no longer drawing sufficient warmth and nourishment from the ground of your being. Our first task, then, is not one of exertion or of pushing a tired body. It is a gentle act of returning home, of deep foundational warming. It is about kindling the vital fire in our center so that our entire being, every limb and every thought can be nourished from a place of unshakable stability. Our bodies are landscapes of energy. In the traditions of my home, we call this energy qi. For this qi to flow as a life-giving river, it must be warm. Coldness creates stagnation. Think of a frozen stream in winter. It does not move. It is trapped. This stagnation is the source of so much discomfort. It manifests as stiffness in the morning, as aches that settle deep into the joints, as a pervasive sense of fatigue that sleep does not seem to touch. We are taught to accept this as an inevitable part of aging, but very often it is simply a sign that the landscape within has grown cold. Imagine your inner world as a garden. In the grip of winter, the earth is hard, barren, nothing grows. But then, the gentle sun of spring arrives. Its persistent warmth softens the soil, awakens the dormant seeds, and life emerges once more. We have the power to create this internal springtime within ourselves at any age. Our first tea is a vessel for this warmth. It is a conscious, deliberate act of sending a message of vitality and awakening deep into our tissues, our bones, our very marrow. It is a profound act of compassion for the body that has carried us so faithfully on our journey. For this internal sunrise, we need only two humble yet powerful ingredients: fresh ginger and the goji berry. Consider the nature of ginger. When you taste it, it is pungent, almost fiery. It creates a sensation that spreads, a wave of warmth that begins in your stomach, your energetic core, and radiates outward to the tips of your fingers and toes. It is the sun melting the last frost. It is not an aggressive, scorching fire, but a deep and mobilizing warmth that unblocks the tiny streams and pathways of energy within us. It is a gentle but firm command to the body: awaken. The season of cold and inactivity is over. It is time for life to move again. This simple root has the power to dissolve the coldness that can make our muscles and joints feel locked, transforming the effort of movement into a natural, fluid expression of our own aliveness. To this dynamic warmth, we add the deep, quiet nourishment of goji berries. In Asia, these small, vibrant berries are revered, known as jewels of longevity. They are not stimulating, they are rebuilding. Where ginger is the active force that clears the path, the goji berry is the substance that repairs and replenishes the very foundations of our vitality. The ancient doctors said they nourish the blood, enrich the yin, brighten the eyes, and profoundly strengthen the kidneys. In our framework of understanding the body, the kidneys are the house of our deepest ancestral energy, the very battery pack of our life force. So you see, there is a perfect harmony here. It is the principle of balance. The ginger creates the warmth, the ideal environment, and the goji berries provide the rich, substantial nourishment. It is like tilling the soil before planting the precious seeds. One without the other is incomplete. This is how we begin to rebuild in a way that is lasting, not with brute force, but with the patient, unshakable wisdom of nature itself. The preparation of this tea is not a chore, it is a meditation. Take a thumb-sized piece of fresh ginger. Feel its weight and its earthy texture. Slice it into a few thin rounds. Take a small handful of dried goji berries. Notice their deep red color. Place them together in your favorite cup. As you pour the hot water, pause and watch the steam rise. This simple act can be sacred if you allow it to be. You are not just making a beverage, you are consciously preparing a form of medicine, an elixir of warmth and life for yourself. This is an act of deep self-respect. Hold the warm cup between your hands. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the heat transfer into your palms, up your arms. Before you take a sip, inhale the spicy and sweet aroma. This is part of the experience. It quiets the restless mind and alerts the body that something nourishing is coming. Then, drink slowly. Do not rush. Feel the liquid warmth enter your belly and then begin its slow, radiating journey throughout your entire being. Follow the sensation. This practice of attention is a powerful form of connection. It bridges the gap between your mind and your body. By doing this daily, you create a new rhythm, a new habit of profound self-care. You are making a silent promise to yourself, a promise to tend to your roots so that your entire being can stand strong, tall, and confident once more. Flowing river. Once we have re-established warmth and nourishment in our foundational roots, our attention must turn to movement. Strength without flexibility is brittle and fragile. An old, powerful tree that cannot sway and yield to the force of the wind will be the first to snap in a storm. A mighty river that ceases to flow will become a stagnant, lifeless marsh. Within our own bodies, true, functional strength is not merely the ability to exert force, but the capacity to move with freedom, with grace, and without the constant companion of pain. Much of the difficulty we experience in walking, in bending, in simply moving through our day arises not only from a loss of muscle, but from a profound stiffness that has gradually settled into our tissues. The joints lose their spaciousness, the fascia and ligaments shorten and tighten, and our world of movement begins to shrink. We become captives in the very home of our own body. The purpose of our second tea is to coax back the quality of flow, to re-establish the currents of a clean and gentle river within us. It is about cleansing what has become stuck, hydrating what has become dry, and restoring the joyful suppleness that makes movement not a task, but a celebration. The mind and the body are not separate entities. They are a unified whole, a reflection of one another. A mind that has become rigid, stuck in patterns of worry or resentment, will inevitably create a body that is physically rigid and tense. If we are constantly holding on to past hurts, to anxieties about the future, to our own fixed ideas of who we are, our muscles reflect this. We brace, we clench, we guard. Over decades, this pattern of holding becomes our baseline state of being. We can forget what it truly feels like to be open, spacious, and relaxed. This is why our second tea is a practice for the mind as much as it is for the tissues and joints. It is a physical invitation to let go. With each sip, you are sending a signal of release throughout your entire system. A signal to let go of the tension you hold in your neck and shoulders, to release the tightness in your hips and lower back, to soften the guarding around your heart. By introducing a physical element of cleansing and flow, we gently encourage our whole being to remember its fluid nature. This is how we begin to patiently untie the knots that time, stress, and sorrow have woven within us. For this purpose of creating flow, we turn to the elegant and clarifying power of green tea, paired with the soothing and harmonizing nature of the jujube date. Green tea has been a companion to monks and scholars for centuries, valued not for stimulation, but for its ability to create mental and physical clarity. From a modern perspective, we know it is rich in antioxidants, which help to gently clear away the metabolic dust that can accumulate in our system, contributing to the low-grade, chronic inflammation that often underlies persistent aches and stiffness. Think of it as a clear mountain spring gently washing over the stones in a riverbed, clearing away algae and silt, leaving them smooth and clean. Its action is not forceful, it is persistent and clarifying. This gentle cleansing reduces the static of inflammation, which so often broadcasts the message of pain that discourages us from wanting to move in the first place. It lightens the burden on our entire being. Alongside the clarifying power of green tea, we place the deep, soulful nourishment of the jujube date, also known as the red date. If the green tea is the cleansing water of the river, the jujube date is the rich, fertile earth on its banks that gives life and stability. In traditional medicine, it is renowned for its ability to build the blood and, most importantly, to calm the shen, the spirit, which is housed in the heart. When our spirit is agitated by worry, stress, or anxiety, our body is locked in a state of high alert. This constant fight or flight response is incredibly depleting and keeps our muscles perpetually tight. The jujube date offers a profound sense of peace. It nourishes and soothes, helping to shift the nervous system from a state of alarm into a state of rest and digest, the state where true healing and repair can occur. When the spirit is calm, the body receives the message that it is safe to relax. The muscles can finally release their death grip. So within this single cup, we have a beautiful dance of energies. We are simultaneously cleansing away what has become turbid, while deeply nourishing and calming the part of us that has become frayed and exhausted. This is the path to inner harmony. The preparation of this tea becomes a practice in releasing. When you brew your green tea, use water that is hot but not furiously boiling, for that would scorch the delicate leaves and introduce a harsh, bitter quality. We seek gentleness. Let the leaves unfurl and steep for only a few minutes, releasing their clear, bright essence. In your cup, place 1 or 2 dried jujube dates. You may slice them open to invite their sweet, calming nature to more fully infuse the liquid. Then, pour the freshly brewed tea over them. Watch as they join together. See this as an integration of clarity and peace within yourself. Find a quiet moment in your afternoon to enjoy this. As you drink, actively turn your awareness inward. With each sip, ask yourself, what am I holding on to? Can you feel the tension in your jaw, in your shoulders, in your belly? As you exhale, visualize that tension dissolving, softening, and flowing away with the gentle current of the tea. Imagine your joints being bathed in a soothing, healing liquid. Imagine space being created between your vertebrae, in your hip sockets. This tea is a partner, a gentle guide in your compassionate practice of reclaiming the effortless, joyful movement that is your natural state of being. Mountain stillness. We have warmed the ground of our being. We have encouraged the waters of life to flow freely again. Now we arrive at the heart of our work, the most profound and essential stage, the rebuilding of the mountain. This is the final and most powerful insight. The enduring strength that will carry us through our 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond is not built by merely commanding a depleted body to perform. That is like attempting to build a great temple on a foundation of sand. The structure may rise for a moment, but it is destined to crumble. The deepest secret to rebuilding our physical power is to first replenish the very source of that power. The weakness that we feel in our muscles, the fatigue in our bones, is not an isolated event. It is a sign that the very battery of our life force has run low. Before we can ask the body to build new tissue, to grow stronger, we must first provide it with an overwhelming abundance of the highest quality energy and raw materials it requires to undertake this sacred construction. Our third and final tea is about exactly this. It is about building our inner mountain, layer by slow, patient layer. Consider the nature of a great mountain. Its strength is not aggressive or loud. It is quiet, still, immense, and absolute. The mountain does not strive, it simply is. It endures the blistering sun of summer, the fierce winds of autumn, and the crushing snows of 1,000 winters, yet it remains. Its power comes from its incredible density, its deep, unbreakable bond with the core of the earth, and its profound internal stillness. This is the quality of strength we now seek to cultivate within ourselves. Not the fleeting, explosive power of a young athlete, but the deep, resilient, enduring power of a mountain. This is the foundation of true resilience. It is the ability to not just walk without a cane, but to stand firm and centered in the midst of life's inevitable storms with a calm and unshakable spirit. This deep inner vitality is the only thing that can truly sustain us. All the external strength we build in the gym is temporary unless it is supported and constantly nourished by this deep, internal wellspring of life. The sacred cornerstone of this deep rebuilding practice is a humble root known as astragalus. In the vast treasury of traditional Chinese herbal wisdom, astragalus is revered as one of the supreme substances for building deep foundational energy, for building qi. It is crucial to understand that it is not a stimulant like caffeine. It will not give you a false nervous jolt of energy that is inevitably followed by an exhausting crash. Its work is far more intelligent, slow, deep, and transformative. Astragalus works to methodically rebuild the body's own innate capacity for energy production at the most fundamental level. It is a true adaptogen, meaning it enhances our body's resilience and helps us adapt to physical and emotional stress over time. It is especially famous for strengthening the spleen and stomach organ systems, which are seen as the central furnace that transforms the food and air we take in into the qi and blood that animate and nourish our entire existence. By strengthening this core digestive fire, we are literally upgrading our ability to create our own vitality. To this profound and primary builder of energy, we will add the catalytic warmth of a small piece of cinnamon bark. Cinnamon, like its cousin ginger, is warming and powerfully improves circulation. But its warmth is different. Where ginger's warmth is dispersing and moves towards the surface, cinnamon's warmth is consolidating and moves towards the deep interior. It directs the potent, building energies of the astragalus to the deepest reservoirs of our body, to our constitutional core. It helps to warm and rekindle the pilot light of our very being. So here we have a master architect, astragalus, providing the highest quality building blocks, and a master foreman, cinnamon, directing those materials exactly where they are needed most, deep within our core structure. This combination creates a powerful, synergistic medicine for the deepest level of restoration. It is a clear and powerful message to the body. The famine is over. You now have a superabundance of resources. It is safe to begin the great work of rebuilding yourself stronger and more solid than before. The preparation of this tea requires more time and patience, and this very slowness is part of its profound teaching. Because astragalus is a woody, dense root, its gifts cannot be released by a simple infusion. It must be decocted. You will take several slices of the dried root and a small piece of cinnamon bark. Place them in a pot with water. Bring the water to a boil, then immediately reduce the heat to the lowest possible simmer. Let it gently bubble and steep for a minimum of 20, even 30 minutes. You will notice your kitchen filling with an earthy, slightly sweet and comforting aroma. Do not rush this process. This is slow medicine for a world obsessed with speed. This is you, deliberately slowing down, consciously taking the time to forge a powerful medicine for yourself. This act alone is healing. Strain the rich golden brown liquid into your cup. This is your elixir of resilience. You drink this not as a quick fix for a slump in energy, but as a long-term investment in your deep constitutional health. As you sip it, feel its profound, substantial energy sinking deep into your abdomen, deep into your lower back. Feel it fortifying the very root of your being. This is no longer just about rebuilding muscle to walk. This is about building the unshakable inner mountain of vitality that will allow you to live all your coming years with presence, with dignity, with independence, and with a quiet, powerful, and profound stillness. This passage through the wisdom of these three T's is not a prescription, but an invitation. It is an invitation to listen to your body, to honor its seasons, and to participate in its renewal. It is the understanding that true, lasting strength is born from a warm foundation, moves with the ease of a flowing river, and is sustained by the deep, quiet stillness of a mountain. By dedicating these small mindful moments to yourself each day, you are doing so much more than drinking tea. You are weaving a new story for your body. You are sending a clear, consistent, and deeply loving message to every one of your trillions of cells. We are not fading. We are renewing. We are rebuilding. We are standing strong again. I am 68, and for the last 5 years, I have felt like a slowly leaking battery, the charge just getting lower and lower. Doctors say it's just age. This is the first thing that has made sense to me on a soul level. The idea of creating an internal springtime and building the mountain from within has moved me to tears. It's not about fighting my body, it's about helping it. I bought the ingredients today. Thank you for this priceless wisdom. This isn't just a video, it's a lifeline.